Good morning, good afternoon out there, wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much again for tuning into Merchant Services Slayers for probably my second video for this week, guys. Very, very excited. Got the new office up, got everything rocking and rolling. Actually, be going to Egypt here soon, so I'll be doing some videos in front of the pyramids. Kind of cool. But other than that, guys, the topic that I want to talk about today is a very, very important one, okay? And that's the discussion on tonality and how you present yourself, how you speak, and how you communicate in front of merchants. And we often get asked this, especially with newer agents on our team, what's the best way to present myself to newer customers? And the best way, I would say that the best tone that you need to have or the best approach that you need to have is that of one of confidence. Okay, now that doesn't mean that you're overbearing, that doesn't mean that you're gonna jump off a building, that doesn't mean that you're a daredevil, and that definitely doesn't mean that you're arrogant, okay? Having confidence within your sale meaning that you have confidence within yourself. Now, again, if you're new to merchant services, that's completely fine. If you're new to processing, and even if you're new to sales, that's okay. You don't necessarily need to have confidence in your product yet. You don't necessarily need to have confidence in the process yet. What you need to do is have confidence in yourself. That is the first and most important aspect of that, okay? Confidence in yourself places you in a situation where, yes, if you do something incorrectly, that you still have the confidence to recognize your mistake and fix it. It's as simple as that. You have the confidence, you fix it, boom, you move on. You don't shy away. Grant Cardone talks about this too, and it's extremely important to make a note, especially within merchant services and high level, high pressure, high intensity and emotional strategic sales, is that people lose deals off of what they don't say. They don't lose deals off of what they say. So newer individuals out there need to take a deep breath and relax that if you say the wrong thing and you screw up, that's completely fine. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. And it's also not the end of your sale. It's probably better that you said something as opposed to not saying it. Okay, and that's when you start to lose deals. So today we're going to talk about 3 different ways that you can project confidence throughout your sale and things that you can do to increase that. The first one, and I hate to say this, the first one is extremely important. And for those that want to lay back and have a lifestyle business, or I'm the idea guy for a lifestyle business, that's not going to happen, is hard work. Okay, hard work is important. Now, you have to look at it this way. There is a fixed process. You're 40% more likely to succeed with a company if you follow their process, number 1. But number 2 is that there's someone that is doing that same process and is succeeding heavily. There's a good chance that that sales organization wouldn't exist if there weren't those individuals that are high performers doing that process. So don't reinvent the wheel, especially if you're new, you're 20 years old, you're getting into sales, you're 19 years old, you're 40 years old and changing a career path and getting into processing, realizing that this is a very high stress, high paced, high intensity business that's very financially rewarding. And that's what comes with it. The higher the reward, the higher the difficulty level. Now with that being said, you already have someone in your company that's a number 1. Why don't you call your manager up and ask them, hey, let me have a discussion with the number 1. Let me talk with them. Let me see what are some of the things that they're doing in the field constantly. So hard work is important when you want to project confidence within your sale. There's 2 things that you need to really focus on. Number 1 is you need to memorize your process and your script. Every process should come with some sort of script. And that script obviously will be altered, but it will have some fundamental foundational points for you to use in your steps of the sale or to use in front of your customer that are vital to the close. You might not know them. You might not know why they work or why your manager is pushing you to do these things, but they definitely work. So please make sure that you use those. Memorize your script. Memorize your script over to the point where now you can get in front of someone and you can do it flawlessly and you can think on the fly. This is going to take, please, practicing with your girlfriend, practicing with your wife, practicing with your child, practicing with a friend, practicing with someone down the street. At the end of the day, practice with someone back and forth until that script just flows. And that's hard work, but you need to put in the hard work. Okay, number 2 is on the same one on number 1 for work hard, is you need to memorize at least some sort of foundational objection handling. Okay, and what I mean by that is you always deflect the objection, but those responses need to come naturally. Those, again, are going to take a lot of role playing, a lot of hot sessions, a lot of hot seats, a lot of sitting down with your wife, your friends, your this, your that. Tell them to pretend that they're a business owner and give you objections. And you need to just spit out the game and practice. And that's okay. Put in the work. Okay. After that work is put in, at least that's just like learning a language. You have to practice. You have to talk. You have to make mistakes. You have to have the person who's the foreign language speaker laugh at you so that you can feel confident. You can feel okay. There's a mistake, right? And having that confidence is important. The second way that you can really build up confidence within your sale is to have real life practice, okay? And this is something that I cannot stress enough. It is an activity. Now, I have a free book called The 3 Secret Sales Challenges that actually has these 3 different challenges in there that are awesome. They actually have a lot to do with confidence within your sale and a lot to do with coffee shops or open random public spaces where you can go up and start conversations with strangers. And I hate to say this, but this is one of the best ways to do it in real life is to get out there, go put yourself in an uncomfortable situation, right? Talking to a stranger is uncomfortable, right? It's you don't know this person, they don't trust you, you don't trust them, but this is what you're going to be doing for a living, and you have your commission on the line. So why wouldn't you want to get good at that? Some of the best things that I've ever taught myself, guys, working were these 3 secret sales challenges that I did and I wrote out, and I put them to use in the field. I went to coffee shops all over Seattle and just started random conversations with strangers. Yes, it was very awkward to begin with, but then I got very confident and good at it to the point where I could slowly move a stranger's conversation to a different direction. And the weird part about that, it wasn't for any financial gain, but for me, it was for a strategic communication exercise that now helps me communicate better with my friends, family, and staff, coworkers, and everybody else. So please use that. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to use these activities, but real life practice is some of the best ways as well to put yourself into a presence of confidence within your sale, right? Another one is just getting beat up. Go door to door, guys. Go business to business. Get rejected. Just confidently make it in your mind that you will get rejected. You'll get a lot of no's. That's okay. That's fine. Learn from it, move on. Okay, learn from it, move on. Learn from it, move on. Don't get distracted. Don't get distressed. Just look at it, shut it off, and do it the next day again and again and again. Work with your staff to make it better. The third way that you can build up confidence within your sale is going to be the brain map a life swap with your customer. Now let me say that again. You're going to brain map a life swap with your customer. This is a real true way to actually sell your product, okay? Is number one is that you are diehard. You believe in your product so much, okay, that you use it yourself, that there's 2 scenarios here. Either you're hurting the customer by not selling it to them, okay, or they're a better salesman than you selling the fact that they don't need it. Now, I love my product so much that I need a definite no after explaining my situation completely and fully to where the other individual, the potential customer, knows it completely to where they give me an honest no. That's when I leave. That's the only situation where I let a deal fall through my fingertips right there, is when everything's discussed, everything's on the table, the mathematical formulas have been calculated, we know everything, the trajectory to the moon, everybody's ready to go, my customer potentially knows the risks associated and they're really close to making a decision, and they just say no, then I'm confident. Now I feel comfortable. But if I leave that business and I don't have the confidence that I didn't close that deal or I could have done something differently, that's when I don't sleep at night, because you have to brain map the life swap of your customer. That means put yourself into their shoes. Pretend you're John at the pizza shop. Pretend you're the senior vice president who owns these 15 stores and you're working at corporate. How are your managers going to feel about cash discounting? How are they going to feel about charging the customer? How are they going to feel about working with this company? How are they going to feel about the new POS station? How are they going to feel about the new buttons and the change and the hassle and the switch? How are they going to feel? Does the cost justify the switch? Right? Does the investment worth the switch? Does the POS offer enough value? And if I was John in his seat, in his corporate office dealing with that, it'd have to be a damn good presentation, and I'd have to qualify myself enough to know that a big thing is our online ordering. That might not be something that my salesman might not know. So it could be that. So now I'm doing a brain map of that merchant. Now I get out of my seat, I get out of my car, I go in to meet with John, and I sit down and I ask him about online ordering. I just did a brain map. I actually take that and I explained to him what I just did in my car. I said, I actually put myself in your shoes and I went through this process and I thought about all your managers and all your customers, and I thought about maybe online ordering and the system you have now, this old Harbor Touch system, and how it does this, how it's not as integratable as the certain solutions that we're providing with Revel or this or that and this. And I went through it and I said, you could really benefit from this. And I thought, would it justify the switch? And I'd say, John, to be honest, if I put myself in your shoes, I don't have your experience, but I'd do it. I would do it. If I were you, and it was my business, totally worth the risk. Now, if it wasn't, I wouldn't tell you, because I want to make sure I keep my name safe. So put yourself in a brain map with a life swap of your customer. Put yourself in their shoes, especially selling processing. A lot of the deals that I used to close was because we still own Centrix, which actually takes cards from customers sometimes, and we charge them 3.75, 3.9% if they use a card. We do cash discount ourselves, which means that if I'm using this product, I firmly believe in it, and I firmly believe that every product or every customer in America should have cash discounting. There's not a certain scenario where you can convince me otherwise, whether you're online or whether you're not. If your product's good enough, then it should be okay to charge for the expenses that are involved within your situation, right? It's the only way you can control your full profit as a business owner. So just to recap, sorry for these long videos this week, but how do you project confidence? Number one, work hard. Memorize your script and your objections. Number two, put yourself in real life practice. Put yourself in real life scenarios. Download the 3 secret sales challenges guide that I have here, guys, if you want to use that, and go do those things. Go do those before work. Okay, get up an hour early and go to your coffee shop a little bit early just so that you can practice this. Put yourself in some uncomfortable situations so that way you're in a situation where you can project confidence. Okay, if you're confident in front of a stranger, a customer, easy. Okay, and then number 3, brain map a life swap with your customer before you walk into that business, or hey John, I gotta go pee real quick. I mean, if it's a merchant that's not in a rush, say, give me a second, I forgot something in my car. Go grab your business cards, go to your car, sit down, do a brain map for 2 seconds. Stop, say stop, where am I? I am in my car. I'm in front of John's Pizza. There we are. What if I was John? What if I saw myself dressed the way that I was? What if I came in and, was that a good introduction? That was a little shaky. He seems a little busy. How many locations do you have? What's his main concerns about the system? Would I buy it? Okay, do that real quick. Okay, get prepared, go back in, be yourself. Then when you get to the close and you have to explain that, say, hey John, you know what I was doing in my car? Okay, give him the Forrest Gump pattern. Say, hey, I was in my car. I was actually thinking about this, that if I were you, would this be a real good thing for me? Okay, and put myself in my situation where if I come to work every day like you do, I have my management meetings to discuss the business, and I have this manager, Judy, over here. I have 18 staff over here. We get busy on Saturday nights, and would it be worth the swap? And to be honest, yes, and this is why. Because I think you can benefit for our online ordering, you can benefit for this, for the ticketing system, for the clock in, for whatever it is. Brain map that. Okay, let's do it. That means that you're going to show a lot of empathy, a lot of support, a lot of rapport, and you'll get that deal closed. So those are 3 tips I got, guys, to build up confidence. Thanks a lot for tuning into Merchant Services Slayers. If you got any questions at all, hit me up on Facebook. Rock and roll, kick some ass, and I'll see you guys out there on the sales board, guys. Let's go.